Planning to stop in Pamplona from San Sebastian to Barcelona? Then you're in the right place.
Thanks for joining here on CORR Travel. Hi, my name is Gwen, and I've got 15 essential tips that will help get you to Pamplona, Spain. So let's go ahead and dive into this video.
Why go to Pamplona? When you hear Pamplona, you think of Ernest Hemingway and the centuries-old running of the bulls, honoring San Fermin. But Pamplona, or Iruña in Basque, has more to offer. Rich in military and religious history, this capital of the autonomous Basque community of Navarra and northern Spain's third largest city is a mixture of modern elements to establishments going back to Charlemagne's rule to Gothic-style architecture. Pamplona resides on one of the Camino de Santiago pilgrimage routes, known as the French Way, where you'll see many shell symbols denoting the path of El Camino pilgrims called peregrinos. It has wonderful cuisine and wine, a vibrant nightlife, and holds a film festival in October. And if you're traveling from San Sebastian to Barcelona, or vice versa, Pamplona is worth a stopover, even if just for a day. Time of year, holidays, and events dictate the best time to visit Pamplona. Pamplona temperatures average from the low 30s to low 80s Fahrenheit year-round, and it has events and holidays year-round too. Peak season months are June through September, with the lowest accommodation availability and highest amount of tourists and travel costs. July, of course, is the big month for Pamplona, with its 9 days of fiestas of the San Fermin Festival. It is the biggest event the city holds annually, when thousands descend on the city. Low season months are December through February, with the highest accommodation availability, lowest amount of tourists and travel costs, and the highest chance of precipitation. The best time to visit Pamplona for a stopover between San Sebastian and Barcelona, however, is when the weather is warm with fewer tourists and good travel deals, which is in the shoulder season months of March through May and October and November. Always double check the festival and holiday schedules when planning. Number 3, getting to Pamplona. The best way to get from San Sebastian to Pamplona is by bus or train. They are also the quickest, cheapest, and most eco-friendly methods. Renfe trains depart San Sebastian train station daily, but early in the morning, and take approximately 2 hours to arrive at the Pamplona train station, which is 2.5 kilometers northwest of Old Town, which is about a 30-minute walk. Buses, however, provide a lot more flexibility. They leave San Sebastian multiple times throughout the day, cost less than the train, and take less than an hour and a half to arrive at Pamplona bus station, next to the Citadel, which is a kilometer or 10-minute walk to Plaza de Castillo. Buses also stop in villages on the way, giving you more opportunity to see the Basque countryside. And some buses also have Wi-Fi. I took the bus from San Sebastian to Pamplona, and I highly recommend it. Although Pamplona has an airport 6 kilometers south of the city center, it's not worth flying such a short distance. And driving to Pamplona from San Sebastian takes an hour, but why bother when the bus and train are so easy? And then you also don't have to deal with parking. Number 4, getting around Pamplona. Pamplona's Old Town, or Casco Viejo, is walking distance to all the top things to do in Pamplona, including shopping, dining, and nightlife. Plus, it's mostly flat, making it very walkable and bikeable. Arriving by bus, you can walk to most Old Town accommodations from the bus station. It's okay to walk from the train station to Old Town on a day trip, but if you're staying overnight in Pamplona, it would be cumbersome with luggage. Therefore, you can catch the public bus. There is a stop in front of the train station. Tickets are purchased in cash on the bus for €1.50, and it can take you to the Citadel stop. From there, you can walk into the Old Town. Or you can arrange for an Uber or a taxi to pick you up from the train station. Hailing a taxi on demand could be sometimes difficult. Number 5, Pamplona safety tips. Pamplona's crime rate is considered low and a safe city to walk alone during the day and night. I kept close to the Old Town and did not feel unsafe in Pamplona as a solo female traveler, day or night. If you decide to visit when there are crowded events, like San Fermin Festival, just be streetwise and keep your items securely on you at all times. Do not keep valuables in your pockets. Stay alert and consider limiting your alcohol consumption. If you normally feel uncomfortable being out alone at night, consider visiting Pamplona during peak season for longer daylight hours, but not during the San Fermin Festival, as the fiestas are known for being rowdy all-nighters. Whether a day trip from San Sebastian or staying overnight on way to Barcelona, the essentials to bring are a good monosling bag or small backpack for walking around town, a charger for your devices, a water bottle and sunscreen, especially during the hot peak season months, a VPN service for data security, and a portable Wi-Fi is a nice backup to have. Of course, don't forget comfortable walking shoes as you will be pounding pavement. Where to stay in Pamplona? Of course, it's the Old Town, and Pamplona does have multiple accommodation options across all budget types. For reasonable price, amenities, free cancellation, breakfast inclusion, and high ratings, including a travel sustainable rating, a few hotels I would recommend are Pamplona Cathedral Hotel, Maisonave, or Sofitel Europa. I stayed at Pamplona Cathedral Hotel, a former 19th century convent. In a great location, it checked all the boxes, including having a friendly and accommodating staff and amazing breakfast. If you want to stay in a private room in a hostel, try Ronces Hostel. For a dorm-style room, try Hostel Casa Ivarola. And if you're going to Pamplona during San Fermin and you want to be in the thick of it, book a room along the Bull Run route and book well in advance. Number 8, things to do in Pamplona. Believe it or not, there is more to do in Pamplona than just see the running of the bulls. Just some of the fun and interesting things you can do in Pamplona on a short visit are visiting the Museo de Navarra and the Cathedral de Pamplona, or walk the running of the bulls route, and don't miss the running of the bulls monument, known as Monumento de Encierro. Stroll Parque de la Toconera and see the Citadel Fortress and medieval walls. Or, if you want to learn more about Pamplona's history, you could just join a historic and cultural walking tour. I have a link below if you're interested. And of course, relax or dine on the Plaza de Castillo in the center of Old Town. For these and other things to do in Pamplona, see my Pamplona guide online. The link is also below. And speaking of dining, there are many great restaurants in Pamplona, and Pamplona has a vibrant nightlife scene with many bars and clubs open late. For a great section of restaurants and bars in Casco Viejo, popular with the locals, is Calle San Nicolas and Calle San Gregorio, just west off Plaza de Castillo. Go early and try and grab a table or belly up at the bar if there is a space. Load up on samplings of pichos at €3 a plate and the local chacoli, a crisp, almost sparkling white wine, for €2 a glass. It's lovely. Not into white wine? Order a sangria, or rosado, or local tinto, like a Rioja. And if you really want to go local, try a calamicho, a glass of red wine over ice topped with Coca-Cola. Keep in mind tipping in Spain is not customary, but it's acceptable to tip 10 to 15% if you had great service. And it's best to tip in cash. Number 10, budget tips. Pamplona is not considered an expensive city to visit. Still, if you're traveling Pamplona on a budget, keep the following in mind while booking your trip. Book early if staying during peak season, especially if going during San Fermin Festival, or visit in the shoulder or off-season months, and consider traveling during the week instead of the weekends. You could also book an accommodation further away from Old Town, but stay close to a bus stop and take the bus into Old Town. And Pamplona hostels may be an option. Depending on time of year, location, and amenities, dorm rooms can start at €20 a night and private rooms at €39 a night. Number 11, eco travel tips. When you're traveling to Pamplona, travel with the planet in mind, using any of these easy eco travel tips that really do make a difference. Avoid the rental car or driving to Pamplona, and avoid flying. Take the train or bus instead. Really, these could save you time and money, plus you get to enjoy the scenery. Take public transportation to see more of Pamplona, or just rent a bike or e-bike, or walk in town. If you need a car service in Pamplona, choose the Bolt, Green, or Uber Green rideshare options to support the use of clean transportation. And look for sustainable ratings at your accommodations, like Booking.com's Travel Sustainable Properties or Green Globe and Green Key Global certifications. I hope you're still with me, because here are some valuable pro tips just for Pamplona. Although Spanish may be more prevalent, both Spanish and Basque are spoken in Pamplona. If you're visiting Pamplona during San Fermin Festival, do as much research as you can on the do's and don'ts, safety measures, and the best place to stay for your type of travel. Always carry some cash with you. It's helpful for tipping or riding the bus, or in case a credit card machine isn't working. The water in Pamplona comes from the springs of the Pyrenees Mountains, so it is safe to drink. And Pamplona is at a higher altitude and gets hot during peak season months, so stay hydrated. There are multiple free Wi-Fi hotspots around Pamplona, like around Plaza de Castillo and in some dining establishments if you need it. And dinners are served later, around 9 to 11 p.m., but going early around 9 may get you a spot at the Pinchos bars. And when ordering Pinchos, go to multiple bars, not just one, and select what you want to eat and drink at the bar and then find a seat. If you can, you may need to stand, as most bars will run a tab for you and you pay later. For more helpful eco-travel and Pamplona travel tips, check out my Pamplona solo travel guide. The link is below. So how much time should you spend in Pamplona? Pamplona is surrounded by beautiful countryside, including the nearby Pyrenees Mountains, and not far from the Basque Coast. So considering its location and what it has to offer, Pamplona would make a nice weekend trip, longer if you wish to explore outside the city. And if you're in the northern Spain region, it would be a shame not to put Pamplona on your itinerary at all, especially if you're going between Barcelona and San Sebastian. Now that you know your way around Pamplona, do you want to know how to spend a fun but relaxing day in Pamplona, either as a day trip or staying overnight? Well, keep watching because I'll tell you how to get my Pamplona one-day itinerary. It takes out all of the guesswork. Number 15, day trips. If you do wish to keep Pamplona as your base and explore more of the region on your Spain travel, there are multiple top destinations all within an hour or two from Pamplona that are perfect for day trips, like Rioja Wine Region, Bilbao, San Sebastian, and Biarritz, France. You could do these self-guided, or if you want to do a group tour, you could see some day trip links I have for you below in the video description.
I hope you enjoyed these 15 tips on Pamplona. If you liked this video and found it informative, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you want more information on Pamplona and Spain travel, don't forget to check out all the links I have below and these upcoming videos. All right, take care. Have a wonderful time in Pamplona.